Hello everyone. Welcome to the class of Complex Analysis, Probability and Statistical Methods 18 MAT41. Today I'll be teaching a topic in Module 2, Conformal Transformations and in Complex Integration. We will learn about complex line integral and its problems. Myself, Dr. Madhura, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. Complex line integral. Complex line integral is the topic that we are going to discuss today. First, let us see how do we represent complex line integral. So a complex line integral, a complex line integral a complex line integral along the path C, along the path C is denoted by integral over C f of z dz, and sometimes if C is a simple closed curve, we consider a simple closed curve, then the notation can be of the form, then the notation used is integral over the closed curve C f of z dz. So a complex line integral along the path C, where C might be any curve, it might be a square, it might be a just straight line, it might be simple arc also. So along the path C, then it is denoted by integral over C f of z dz. And if C is a simple closed curve, then the notation used is integral over the closed curve C. So just a circle around the integral symbol f of z dz. Now we will see some of the important properties what we might be applying while doing complex line integral problems. So we are now dealing with properties. So in that first one, if minus C denotes the curve traversed from a point Q to a point P, then integral over C, this is minus C, f of z dz can be written as minus integral over C f of z dz. So integral over the curve minus C dz, because minus C denotes a curve which is traversed from a point Q to a point P. Suppose I have considered a curve wherein the curve is traversed from P to Q, but minus C represents the point or the curve traversing from Q to P. Then integral over minus C f of z dz can be written as minus integral C f of z dz. Okay. Now we'll see another point related to the same. Suppose C is, second point, if the curve C is split into a number of parts, say C1, C2, C3, etc. Then integral over C f of z dz is the sum of integrals with respect to C1 plus C2, C3, etc. Integral over C1 f of z dz plus integral over C2 f of z dz plus integral over C3 f of z dz, etc. So sometimes what happens, the curve C might be a square. So a square consists of 4 line segments. So we have C1, C2, C3, C4, 4 line segments. Then in such case, integral over C f of z dz can be written as integral over C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4. So depending or based on the curve C, which is split up into different number of parts, we will be able to split this integral and write down. Then now third point, these are some of the properties what we are talking about. If lambda 1 and lambda 2 are constants, then integral over C lambda 1 f1 of z plus or minus lambda 2 f2 of z dz can be written as lambda 1 is a constant. I can write outside the integral over C f1 of z dz plus or minus we retain it as it is lambda 2 integral over C f2 of z dz f2 of z dz. So this is similar to our usual integration. We write down the constants outside and we integrate function of z, no? So same manner here also we can split the integral if we have plus or minus, whatever it might be the middle symbol, that can be separated with respect to two integrals. So these are some of the properties which we can apply for line integral also, complex line integral as well. Now next we will see line integral of a complex valued function. Write on the heading line integral of a complex valued function. So now we will see the complex valued function is denoted by f of z, which is given by u plus iv. Suppose we represent f of z as a function of x comma y, u of xy plus I into v of x comma y, which denotes a complex valued function over a region R, and suppose C is the curve in the region, then we will see what happens to integral over C f of z dz after splitting the real and imaginary parts of it. Okay, so let's understand this. Let f of z is equal to u of x comma y plus I into v of x comma y be a complex valued function defined over a region R, say capital R, and C be a curve in the region, and capital C be a curve in the region, then we can have integral over C f of z dz with respect to x and y. We can split and we can write down. So integral over C f of z dz can be written as integral over C f of z is nothing but u plus iv, and in the Cartesian form dz can be written as dx plus I into dy. Since z is x plus iy, dz can be written as dx plus I into dy. Now let us multiply these two terms. So this gives us integral over C, product of these two I am writing, u into dx plus I into u dy plus I into v dx. I into I gives us I square, which is minus 1. So minus v dy. Now I can group the real and imaginary terms separately and write down, applying the property 3, I can write down all the real terms in one integral. Which are all the real terms here? U dx minus v dy. These are the real terms. Plus I into integral over c. The imaginary terms are u dy plus v dx. These are the imaginary terms. So this is application of property 3. No, we have splitted the integrals and we have written the constants outside. I is a constant here. So line integral of a complex valued function. F of z is a complex valued function here. So which is given by u plus iv. We are considering the Cartesian representation, coordinates x comma y here. So if f of z represents a complex valued function over a region R, and suppose C is a curve in the region, then we can always write down integral over C f of z dz as splitting u plus iv into dx plus I dy, then multiplying and grouping real plus imaginary. So what is the meaning of this is, evaluation of a line integral of a complex valued function is always equal to evaluation of the line integrals of real valued functions. When I take out I outside, the bracket term within integral is a real function. Here also it is a real function. So we'll conclude the same thing. That is, evaluation of a line integral, evaluation of a line integral of a complex valued function, of a complex valued function is nothing but the evaluation of line integrals, of real valued functions, So this is the real valued function, plus another integral is also a real valued function, since the complex number I is written outside. Imaginary term I is written outside. Right? So this is the basics about complex valued line integral of a complex valued function. So now we can see problems. So first problem, evaluate integral over c mod z the whole square dz, where c is a square with vertices 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1 and 0, 1. So we need to evaluate integral over c mod z the whole square. So f of z is mod z the whole square, where c is the square. The curve c is defined as a square which has 4 line segments. So it joins the vertices 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1 and 0, 1. So let us see how to solve this line integral problem. Solution. The curve C is as shown below. So first let us draw the curve C, which is going to help us while for each segment, while we have to evaluate integral mod z square, mod z the whole square dz when we want to integrate. And each line segment will be helpful for us. If we look into the figure, we will be able to write the equation of those lines and proceed. So that is why we will draw a figure for convenient. Right. I have drawn the xy axis, and in the xy axis I have plotted the points given, vertices given for us, that is 0, 0 origin. Then we had 1, 0, which I denote by P. The point 1, 0 are denoted by P. And then we have 1, 1. So 1, 1 comes in the first quadrant. So this I am denoting by Q, and 0, 1. So 0, comma 1 means x is 0, x is not moving, y is taking 1. So 0, comma 1. Of course, this is our usual representation. When I say 1, comma 0, x is moving 1 value and y is 0. So like that we have tried to draw a approximate square. Okay. Now with this there are 4 line segments, no? So either we have to start from O and then traverse to R, Q, P, O, or we can go O, P, Q, R, O. So I'll be moving in this direction O, P, Q, R, O. So I'll have to draw the line segments putting arrows across. So I'll just denote this by the curve C1, and then P to Q I am moving, which is curve C2. Then I traverse from Q to R, which is denoted by curve C3. And then lastly from R to O, denoted by the curve C4. Okay. Now mod z the whole square. How can I represent mod z the whole square is integral over C1 mod z whole square dz plus integral over C2 mod z whole square dz plus integral over C3 mod z dz mod z whole square dz, then integral over C4 mod z whole square d square dz. Okay, so like that we can integrate and obtain for each line segment. The sum of all these 4 curves gives us the evaluation of the given curve over the square. So let us represent the same thing. So integral over C mod z the whole square dz is the sum of integral over C1 mod z the whole square dz plus integral over C2 mod z the whole square dz plus integral over C3 mod z the whole square dz plus last one integral over C4. There are 4 line segments mod z the whole square dz. And let us call this as equation 1. We'll come back to this after finding each one of the integral value. Now we will consider what is mod z the whole square dz. Okay, since z is x plus iy, mod z will be equal to square root of x square plus y square. So mod z the whole square will be squaring on both sides, x square plus y square. Now what we have is mod z whole square dz. So since z is x plus iy, we can write down dz also from this, which is dx plus I into dy, Cartesian representation throughout. So mod z whole square dz product will be equal to x square plus y square multiplied by dx plus I into dy. X square plus y square multiplied by dx plus I dy. Now along each curve, we will be finding what is the equation of the line, given line. What is the equation of the line C1? What is the equation of the line C2? What is the equation of the line C3? And what is the equation of the line C4? And what is constant, what varies, which variable varies. So all that we have to see and rewrite mod z square dz. Okay, so for each one of those curves, I would like to do it. So let me represent that together in the next page. Now just for convenient, I've written the figure once again here instead of going back every time to the previous page. Whatever figure we saw here, the same thing I've represented here in the next page just for convenient, because every time I have to look into what does the curve C1 represent and what is the equation of that line and solve further. Okay, we'll see that one by one. Now very firstly along C1, along the curve C1. Along C1, what is the equation of the line C1? The equation of the line C1 is y is equal to 0. We are familiar that on the x-axis, the equation of the line on the x-axis is nothing but y is equal to 0. We can also observe the same thing from the coordinates. See, observe y is 0, here also y is 0. Make sure that every coordinate x comma y this is compared with. So 0 comma 0 is compared with x comma y. 1 comma 0 is compared with x comma y. So y is 0, y is 0. We also observe that x varies from 0 to 1. So all that will be required for us to pin and write down along C1. So I am looking into this line segment C1. So along C1, the equation of the line C1 is y is equal to 0. If y is 0, differentiation is also 0. Then what happens to z square, mod z square dz is a function, no? So mod z square dz. So what was mod z square dz? X square plus y square. So it is x square plus y square. Y is 0, no? Since y is 0, so this will be plus 0 square into dx. Into dx. Again in the rough work, I'll just mention and recall the thing that what was the expression for mod z square dz, which was already solved in the previous page for us. X square plus y square into dx plus I dy. So just write it down here for your convenient. So this is mod z the whole square dz is nothing but x square plus y square multiplied by dx plus I into dy. Just for understanding purpose, I've written here in the rough work. So what happens when y is 0, this is 0, dy is 0. So I just have x square into dx. The same thing I've written here. And what does x vary from? If I am representing mod z square dz in terms of x square dx, I have to write down limits for x. So observe from the figure here. So x varies from 0 to 1. X varies from 0 to 1. Y is 0 constant along C1 and x varies from 0 to 1. Okay, so we will write the same thing here. And x varies from 0 to 1. This is along C1. Similarly, we will be doing along the remaining curves. So next one I will consider along C2. So along C2, what is the equation of the line C2? Equation of the line C2, x is constant. Observe x is equal to 1, which is constant. Looking into the coordinates, x is equal to 1 and y varies from 0 to 1. So same thing we are going to write down. X is equal to 1. If x is 1, dx will be equal to 0. Differentiation of a constant will be equal to 0. So what happens to mod z square dz? In this when I substitute. So therefore mod z square dz will be equal to, substituting x is equal to 1, it is 1 square, 1 plus y square into dx is 0. So this is multiplied by I dy and limits is for y. So y varies from 0 to 1. Let me explain that once again here. See, observe the figure here along C2, means we are talking about this line C2. So in this line we observe that x is equal to 1 is a constant and we observe that y varies from 0 to 1. Let me mark it here. Y varies from 0 to 1. Each of these coordinates are of the form x comma y. So y varies from 0 to 1 and the equation of this line is x is equal to 1, which is constant. Since x is 1, dx will be equal to 0. Differentiation of 1 is 0. So mod z square dz becomes 1 plus y square. When I substitute in this, x is 1 plus y square into dx. Dx is 0 plus I dy. So I dy remains. And y varies from 0 to 1 as marked here. Okay. Now coming on to the third one, along C3. Along the curve C3. So equation of the line C3 we will observe now. Observe that here x is varying from 1 to 0. Arrow mark is also very important. We are traversing from O, P, Q, R back to O. So we are traversing actually from 1, 1 to 1, 0, 1. 1, 1 to 0, 1 we are traversing. That is from Q to R we are traversing. So when we look into the arrow mark is towards left, so x varies from 1 to 0, whereas the equation of this line is y is equal to 1. Y is constant here, no? That is the reason the equation of this line is y is equal to 1. So along C3, the equation is y is equal to 1. If y is 1, I can write down differentiation dy is equal to 0. Differentiation of a constant is 0. Then what happens to mod z square dz? Let us write down. Since y is 1, I retain this x square as it is plus 1 into dx. And we have to write limits for x, no? So x varies from, looking into the figure along C3, x varies from 1 to 0. Please look into the arrow mark. So it is varying from 1 to 0. And how did I get this? Here we are substituting every time. Mod z square dz we are substituting. So x square plus y square. Y is 1. Y is 1. Into dx as it is I dy. Dy is 0. So I dy goes to 0. So this is along C3. And one last one, this is along C4. There were 4 line segments, so I have to do for all the 4 line segments. So along C4, we have to write down now. Again, looking into C4 curve, we are traversing from R to O, or we are traversing from 0, 1 to 0, 0. Looking into the arrow. Okay. So the line equation of this line is x is equal to 0. We observe x is equal to 0 is constant here, and y varies. Y change after that. So y varies from 1 to 0. 1 to 0. So same thing we will mention now. So along C4, the equation of the line is x is equal to 0. If x is 0, dx is also equal to 0. And then we can write down mod z square dz. So mod z square dz will now become, since x is 0, this will be y square into I dy. I'm sorry. So x square is, x is 0, so x square is 0, dx is 0. So we just have y square multiplied by I dy. And let us write down the limits for y. Y varies from 1 to 0. Y varies from 1 to 0. Again, this is looking into the figure. Now all these, whatever we represented, we need to now substitute into equation 1. So what is equation 1? This is equation 1 for us. So along C1, what is mod z square dz? We saw just now. Along C1, mod z square dz is x square dx. And we will write down limits as for x varying from 0 to 1. Like that, mod z square dz along C2. Along C2, I can write it down as 1 plus y square into I dy, and write down the limits for integral. Y varies from 0 to 1. Integral limits for y will be from 0 to 1. Similarly, along C3, mod z square dz, and along C4. So C3, mod z square dz is x square plus 1 dx, and integral limits will be from 1 to 0. And along C4, mod z square dz can be written as I y square dy, and the limits for y can be written as from 1 to 0. So we need to work this in the next page now. Substituting in equation 1. Equation 1 implies integral over C mod z square dz will be now equal to each one of the limits what I mentioned now. I'm going to write down. So integration of x is equal to 0 to 1 x square dx plus integration y is equal to 0 to 1 plus y square into I dy plus integration, third one, integral over C3, x is equal to 1 to 0 x square plus 1 into dx, and the fourth one is integral for y varying from 1 to 0 I into y square dy. We need to evaluate this integral. It's all simple integration to solve and apply the limits. Apply the limits. So we'll just do that in the next step. Integration over C mod z square dz is equal to Integration of x square is x cube divided by 3. This is between the limits 0 to 1. Plus I is a constant. Here we have I, no? This I can write outside the integration. Integration of 1 plus y square I have to perform. So integration of 1 is with respect to y. So y plus y cube divided by 3 and the limits is 0 to 1. Plus integration of x square is x cube divided by 3 plus integration of 1 dx is x between the limits 1 to 0, and the last one is I constant again, y cube divided by 3 between the limits 1 to 0. So each one of them we have integrated, and now we have to apply the limits. So this gives us integral over c mod z square dz is equal to, when we apply the limits, this is 1 by 3 minus 0, upper limit minus lower limit, plus I into, again here upper limit is only applicable, lower limit y is 0, so both the terms goes to 0. So I'll just write down the application of upper limit. So then y is 1, this is 1 plus 1 by 3. The next one again, of course this is plus sign. Now next one, upper limit is 0. When x is 0, the first term is 0, second term is also 0. Correct? 0 minus of lower limit 1 by 3 plus 1. Upper limit minus lower limit. Again the last term I by 3 is a constant. Upper limit 0 minus lower limit 1 cube is 1. Now let us try to simplify this and write down the answer for the evaluation of the integral mod z square dz. So this gives us integral over c mod z square dz is equal to, the first term is 1 by 3 and the second term is 1 plus 1 by 3 is 4 by 3 I. Second term is 4 by 3 I. This is imaginary term. And the next term, we had 0 minus of, there was a minus sign outside, no? There was a minus sign outside. 1 by 3 plus 1 is 4 by 3. So it is plus into minus minus. So we have minus 4 by 3. We actually have minus, no? I can directly write down minus sign here. So this gives me minus 4 by 3. And the last term is again negative minus I by 3. Let us combine all the real terms. So 1 by 3 minus 4 by 3. So real term after taking LCM, 3 is the common LCM. So 1 minus 4 is minus 3. So minus 3 by 3 is minus 1. And again the imaginary term, let us combine. Second and the fourth term I am combining. So 4 by 3i minus 1 by 3i. 4 by 3 minus 1 by 3 is 1. So 1 into I. 1 into I is I. So this is the evaluation of the given integral mod z square dz over the curve C. The curve C was a square here. The curve C was a square here, which is joining the point 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1 and 0, 1. So drawing the figure will actually help us to proceed further, because each cases we were able to write down what is the equation of that particular line segment, and we were able to express the limits easily. It is always better to write down the figure. And then rest is evaluation of the integral part and applying the limits. So this is how a simple problem on line integral can be worked out. We'll see second problem now. Evaluate integral 0 to 2 plus I, integral 0 to 2 plus I z bar the whole square dz. Z bar is nothing but the conjugate of the complex number z along there are two cases given for us. In the first case, we have to discuss along the line x is equal to 2y, and in the second case we need to discuss along the real axis up, up to 2 and then vertically to 2 plus I, and then vertically to 2 plus I. So we need to evaluate this given integral mod z bar the whole square dz over the integral 0 to 2 plus I along two different curves. One is only one of the straight line given, so x is equal to 2y, and the second condition is along the real axis up to 2 and then vertically up to 2 plus I, So let us see the solution. So very firstly, let us denote the given integral as I for convenient, integral 0 to 2 plus I, and it is given z bar the whole square dz. Now let us represent what is z bar the whole square and then multiply with dz. So z bar the whole square. Z bar is nothing but x minus iy, the whole square. So a minus b whole square formula we will expand. A square plus b square minus 2 into a into b. So this gives us x square minus y square is the real term and imaginary term is minus I into 2xy. So what is dx then? Since z is equal to x plus iy, what will be dz? This will be dx plus I into dy. So what happens to the product? What we want is z bar the whole square dz we want now. So this becomes x square minus y square minus I into 2xy. The whole thing is multiplied with dx plus I into dy. So we want z bar the whole square dz. So when we multiply these two, it will be product of these two. Now, we will discuss the cases one by one. The first case is along the line x is equal to 2y. Since it is just one single line, we need not draw it and show separately. Okay, if it was more than one line segment, it was always preferable to write down. So the first case is along the line x is equal to 2y. So if x is 2y, we can write down dx. So dx will be 2 into dy. We are trying to represent x in terms of y in the previous integral what we wrote, that is in z bar the whole square dz. We are going to represent. Now, it is given that z varies from 0 to 2 plus I. In the integral we have seen this, the integral limits we have seen this. 0 to 2 plus I is the integral limits for z. Remember, any complex number z means it is always coordinates x comma y. It is of the form x plus iy. So in terms of the coordinates, it is x comma y. So x comma y varies from 0 means 0 comma 0 to this is of the form x plus iy. So when I compare with x plus iy, x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 1. So z varies from 0 to 2 plus I was given. So z means any complex number with the coordinates x comma y. Varies from 0. 0 means 0 comma 0 origin to 2 plus I. A complex number of the form x plus iy. So x is equal to 2, y is equal to 1. x is 2, y is 1. So coordinates become 2, 1 by comparing with x plus iy. So this is how we will be able to write on the coordinates. Now, since we are representing x in terms of y, so I'll be substituting in the previous expression z bar whole square dz, no? This is what I have to evaluate the integral. In this, when I substitute everything in terms of x and y, I would like to substitute x is equal to 2y and dx is equal to 2 dy. So every term will be with respect to the variable y. So therefore, we will write down the limits for y looking into these two. So when I observe this expression here, so it is 0, 0 to 2, 1. So I can write down the limits for y as y varies from 0 to 1. Observe, y is varying from 0 to 1. X is varying from 0 to 2, I know. But I would like to write down the limits for y because x is represented in terms of y everywhere. And we will be having the entire expression with respect to the variable y when I substitute into the given integral. So given integral is called as I, know. The given integral is already represented by I. So let me call this as equation 1 for convenient. So now we will be substituting into equation 1. We know what is z bar whole square. We know what is dz. Both product we have already seen it here. So both these will be substituted along with limits for y will be substituted. Okay. So let us represent this. So therefore equation 1 becomes I is equal to integral 0 to 2 plus I into z bar whole square. This was the given integral, no? So in terms of the coordinates, it is 0, 0 varying into 2, 1 and z bar dz. Z bar whole square dz, we have already seen the product. It is x square plus y square, x square minus y square minus I into 2xy multiplied by dx plus I dy. So this is the integral what we have already seen, no? Now this is in turn written now as, with respect to y, I am substituting two things. One is the limits for y. So y varies from 0 to 1. And wherever x is there, let us substitute x as 2y. So this becomes 4y square minus y square minus I into 2 into x is equal to 2y into y whole thing into dx. Did you observe dx is equal to 2 dy here? So let us substitute the same thing. So this becomes, the second bracket becomes 2 dy plus I dy. 2 dy plus I dy. Dx is equal to 2 dy and I have retained y term as it is. So throughout the substitution, just substitute for x and retain the every term with respect to y. That is the reason we have written limits with respect to y. Looking into these coordinates, limits with respect to y is 0 to 1. Now we will try to simplify this and integrate, which will give you the required solution. So therefore, I is equal to integral y is equal to 0 to 1 3y square minus I into 4y square, the whole thing into 2 plus I multiplied by dy. Let me show you this. So it is 4y square minus y square, which is 3y square. Similarly, the imaginary term is 2 into 2, 4y into y square, 4y square I with the minus sign. 4y square I with the minus sign. Then in the next step, we observe dy is common. So we remain 2 plus I into dy. That is what I have written, 2 plus I into dy. Now 2 plus I is a constant. I can write it down outside. So I will be equal to 2 plus I is a constant. We have integral y is equal to 0 to 1. Again, we observe that y square is a constant. So when I take y square constant and write down dy as it is, we remain here 3 minus 4i. So again the that 3 minus 4i is a constant which I can write outside the integration. So 3 minus 4i is a constant. And what we remain is integral 0 to 1 y square dy only. Now we need to integrate this. Meanwhile, I will multiply these two, a plus b into c plus d form. So let us multiply 2 into 3, 6 minus 8i plus 3i. Then I into I square is minus 1, minus of minus plus 4. Check out with the constants. So we have here integration of y square, y cube divided by 3 between the limits 0 to 1. So this gives me the real is added, which is 10 minus imaginary is also added. It is minus 5i. 10 minus 5i multiplied by the upper limit minus lower limit. So this gives us 1 by 3 minus 0. Upper limit is 1. Lower limit y is 0. So entire 0. So we can write down the answer here as 5 is constant. So I can write down 5 by 3 outside. Remaining is 2 minus I. So this is the value of I for the first case, that is along the line x is equal to 2y. So if we observe, there were two cases given actually. The two cases that we had to discuss was along the line x is equal to 2y, we have to integrate the given integral z bar whole square dz. So that we completed just now, and the answer for that is 5 by 3 into 2 minus I. Now on the same lines or in the similar manner, we have to work the second case, the real axis up to 2 and then vertically to 2 plus I. We need to see that now. Now we will discuss the case 2. Case 2 is line segments from z is equal to 0 to z is equal to 2, and then from z is equal to 2 to 2 plus I. So there are two line segments. That is the reason I have drawn the figure for you. So in these two line segments, we have to actually now along C1, along C2, we have to work out and try to add them up. Means the integrals should be added. Integral along C1 plus integral along C2. We need to add up. So line segments are from z is equal to 0 to 2. Now z is equal to 0 to 2 means 0, 0 to 2, 0, and then 2, 0 to 2, 1. So right. So same thing we will represent in terms of x, y. So since z varies from 0 to 2, x, y in terms of the coordinates x, y, this varies from 0 means origin, so 0, 0 to 2. 2 means it is 2, 0. We have only the real term here. So 2 is compared with x plus iy. 2 is compared with x plus iy. So x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 0. That is why the coordinates are 2, 0. And then from z is equal to 2. So, and then from 2, 0 to 2, 1. Z is equal to 2 means 2, 0 again to 2 plus I. 2 plus I is compared with x plus iy. Comparing with x plus iy, x is 2, y is 1. So, into 2, 1. So, what are these coordinates then here in the figure? So, origin O is 0, 0 to 2, 0. So, the point A is nothing but 2, 0, coordinates for A. Then B is having the coordinates 2, 1. So, we are moving from 0, 0 to 2, 0, and then from 2, 0 to 2, 1. Means O to A and then from A to B. That is why the arrows are right and towards upward. and then towards upward. So along C1 and along C2, we need to work out. So what happens to the given curve, given integral I? So given integral I can be now written as integral over C z bar the whole square dz will now become integral over C1 z bar whole square dz plus integral over C2 z bar whole square dz. We already seen how to write down in this way in the previous problem, which we took it as a square. So we have only two line segments now, C1 and C2. That is why only two segments, and I have called this as equation 2. Each one of them we will see what are the curves, and then we will try to represent the integral and solve the integral. So first we will see along C1. What is the line segment along C1? What is the equation of the line C1? We observe again from the coordinates here. So x varies from 0 to 2, y is equal to 0. So the equation of the line C1 is y is equal to 0. The equation of the line C1 is y is equal to 0. If y is 0, dy is also 0. Y equal to 0, dy also equal to 0. Then what happens to z bar whole square dz? Therefore, z bar whole square dz will be now equal to, we have already seen what is z bar whole square expression. This is our expression for z bar whole square dz. Z bar whole square dz. Here when I substitute y is equal to 0, this term vanishes and imaginary vanishes. Dy is 0. So we actually remain with only x square into dx. Substitute y equal to 0 everywhere. So y is 0. This is also y 0. Dy 0. So we just have x square into dx. So z bar whole square dz will now become x square dx. And what are the limits for x? X varies from, looking into the coordinates from the figure, x varies from 0 to 2. Look the coordinates here, x varies from 0 to 2. Similarly, we will now see what is the equation when along C2. We'll see what is the equation for along C2. So along C2, the equation of the line C2 is x is equal to 2. X is constant when we look into the coordinates here. From A to B we are moving. So x is equal to 2, which is constant, and y varies from 0 to 1 here. So we will write down same thing. X is equal to 2 is the equation of the line C2. Since x is 2, dx will be equal to 0. Differentiation of a constant 2 will be equal to 0. So therefore, what happens to z bar whole square dz? So z bar whole square dz will be equal to x square. So it is 4 minus y square minus I into 4y it is actually. The whole thing multiplied by dx is 0. So we have I dy. And we have to write down limits for y now. So y varies from the figure we can see y varies from 0 to 2. Y varies from 0 to 1 actually. 0 to 1. And let me show it to you, both the steps. Right. So this is substitution of x is equal to 2 and dx is equal to 0 in the product z bar whole square dz. So here we have z bar whole square dz, no? So here we are substituting x is equal to 2. So 2 square is 4. 4 minus y square into x is 2. So this becomes 2 into 2, 4yi. 4yi. And then we have dx is equal to 0. So this vanishes. We just have I dy. So that is how we are getting the product z bar whole square dz. Then we have everything in terms of y. So we need to write down the limits for y. So y varies from 0 to 1 looking into the figure coordinates of y along AB or along C2. Along C2. Now, in the next step, we are going to club these two and substitute these two expressions in equation 2. Z bar whole square dz will now change to x square dx along C1 and write the limits for x. For the second one along C2, we should write on this 4 minus y square minus 4iy into I dy, and then y limits are from 0 to 1. So we need to express that substituting in equation 2. So substituting in equation 2, this gives us I is equal to integral over C z bar the whole square dz, and that in turn is equal to, we are substituting both the equations. So first integral is integral x is equal to 0 to 2 x square dx, and the second one is integral y is equal to 0 to 1. We have 4 minus y square minus 4iy, the whole thing into I dy. Whatever we wrote here in the previous page, z bar whole square for the along C1 is x square dx. No? That is why this is x square dx. And we wrote limits for x as 0 to 2. So same thing is mentioned here, 0 to 2 limits. Second integral along C2, limits are from y varying from 0 to 1, and z bar whole square dz is this entire expression, the same thing I have written here. Now we need to integrate and apply the limits respectively. So I is equal to integration of x square is x cube divided by 3 between the limits 0 to 2 plus, we have an I outside here, no, I write on that I here, which is multiplied for the entire term. Then integration of 4 with respect to y is 4y minus y cube divided by 3 minus 4i into y square divided by 2. This entire term between the limits 0 to 1. I wrote this I constant outside, 4 as it is. Integration of 1 dy is 4y. Integration of 1 dy is y minus y square integration is y cube by 3 minus 4i as it is. Integration of y is y square by 2. This I have already written outside. So let us simplify further and obtain the answer quickly. So this gives us 1 by 3 is a constant outside. This is 2 cube minus 0 plus I into upper limit is only applicable. Lower limit gives 0 for all the terms. So 4 minus 1 by 3 minus 2 1s are 2 2s are. So 2i into 1. So this gives us 2 cube is 8. So 8 by 3 plus I into 4 minus 1 by 3. Real term I am combining, which is 11 by 3 minus 2i. So this is one the same as writing multiply I inside. So 11 by 3i plus into minus is minus, but I square we have. This I into 2i I am performing. So I square is minus 1, so which gives us plus 2. Now 8 by 3 plus 2. 8 by 3 plus 2 is 14 by 3 after taking LCM plus 11 by 3i. So this is the answer. This is one and the same as writing, because in whatever the manner we want we can leave. This is 14 plus 11i, taking 1 by 3 common outside. 14 plus 11i, taking 1 by 3 common outside. So this is evaluation of the given integral along the path. What was this path? This was from case 2, no? Z is equal to 0 to 2 and then from 2 to 2 plus i. Z is equal to 0 to 2 and then from 2 to 2 plus I, which was the second case of the problem. Hope you have followed this problem. Now we'll see the third problem. Now in this problem, x and y are represented with respect to another variable t. So we need to evaluate with respect to the variable t, and evaluate the integral to obtain the answer. So evaluate integral 0, 3 to 2, 4, and the function is 2y plus x square into dx plus 3x minus y, the whole thing into dy along, again there are two cases given for us, along the parabola x is equal to 2t and y is equal to t square plus 3. And the second condition or the second evaluation that we need to do is along the straight line from 0, 3 to 2, 4. So we need to evaluate the given integral. The given integral is not in terms of z, it is directly given in terms of x and y. But we need to evaluate this integral with respect to the parabola x is equal to 2t and y is equal to t square plus 3. So we will do each case one by one. Before starting up with the case, I will represent the given I for us. Solution. Let I be the given integral denoted by 0, 3 to 2, 4, and function is 2y plus x square dx plus 3x minus y into dy. Now in the first case, it is given that x is equal to 2t and y is equal to t square plus 3. Given wherever x is there, let us substitute x is equal to 2t, and wherever y is there, let us substitute y as t square plus 3. Then what happens to limits? Both are represented in terms of t. So we need to write down the limits for t and evaluate this integral. So how to write down the limits for t? Either you can use x is equal to 2t and use the limits of x, that is 0, 2, and change the limits for t. Or we can use the value of y, that is y is equal to t square plus 3. Use the limits of y, 3, 4 are the limits of y, 3 to 4. Keeping that, we can change the limits of t. So anything can be done. One of them I will just apply and show it to you. So consider, or since x is equal to 2t, from the given we have x is varying from 0 to 2. So when x is 0, in this, when we substitute when x is 0, this is 2t is equal to 0 or t is equal to 0. Similarly, the upper limit when x is 2. From the data, it is x is equal to 2. No. How did we recognize? Each of these coordinates are of the form x, y, x, y. Okay. So upper limit for x given is 2. So that is why I am taking x is equal to 2. So when x is 2, so this we have 2t is equal to 2. When 2t is equal to 2, t will be equal to 1. So with this we can consolidate for the limit for t. So from this we can write down t varies from 0 to 1. Lower limit to upper limit. So t varies from 0 to 1 we can write down. Same way, if you consider y equal to t square plus 3 and apply the limits for y as 3 to 4, we will be getting the same value of t. We can get the same value of t, that is t varies from 0 to 1. Now we will substitute all these into the above equation I, and we have to integrate with respect to t and apply the limits from 0 to 1 to obtain the answer. This is the first case. Let us do that. So substituting, we get I is equal to, x is substituted everywhere as 2t and y should be substituted as t square plus 3. So this is integral t is equal to 0 to 1, and let us use a bracket here. So we have 2y plus x square. 2 into y. Y is t square plus 3. 2y plus x square. X is 2t, so it is 2t the whole square multiplied by dx. Dx is nothing but 2 dt. 2 dt. Let me tell you how it is. Plus. Similarly, I have to open another bracket. We have 3x minus y into dy. 3 into x, 2t minus y. Y is t square plus 3. The whole thing into dy. Dy will be 2t dt. So this we need to integrate between the limits 0 to 1. Let me show the substitution step to you. So everywhere where we have 2y plus x square term, we are substituting 2 into y. Y is t square plus 3. So 2y plus x square. X square is nothing but 2t the whole square into dx. Since x is 2t, we can write down from this only. Since x is 2t, here itself let me write down for your convenience. So since x is 2t, dx will be equal to 2 dt and dy will be equal to 2t dt. 3 is a constant, differentiation goes to 0. T square differentiation is 2t into dt. With respect to t, we are trying to differentiate. So dx will be 2 dt and dy will be 2t dt. The same thing we have substituted here. 2 dt and then 2t dt. Okay. Similarly, the second term is 3x minus y into dy. So 3x minus y, 3 into x is 2t minus y, y is t square plus 3 into dy, dy is 2t dt. Now we will simplify this and integrate. First we need to simplify, later only we can integrate easily. So integration t is equal to 0 to 1. Let us multiply. This we get 2t square plus 6 plus 4t square multiplied by 2 dt plus second bracket. We have 6t minus t square minus 3 multiplied by 2t dt. Let me write down a common dt in the next step. So integral 0 to 1, obviously t varies from 0 to 1. Then we have 2 multiplied for this each term. Or first we can add the like terms, no? 2t square plus 4t square. Is 6t square plus 6 multiplied by 2 dt. And the next term there are no like terms. So I will multiply each term with 2t. So we have 6 into 2, 12t square minus t cube minus 3t. We actually have to multiply 2t. So it is 2t into t square. So 2t cube minus 6t multiplied by dt. So now I is equal to integral 0 to 1. So we have 6t square into 2. 6 2s are 12t square plus 6 into 2, 12 plus 12t square minus 2t cube minus 6t. The whole thing into dt. We had dt here and we had dt here. I took common. So this is I is equal to integral 0 to 1. Combine all the like terms. We have 24t square minus 2t cube minus 6t plus 12. 24t square minus 2t cube minus 6t plus 12. The whole thing into dt. We have grouped all the like terms. Now we can integrate each term by term and apply the limit 0 to 1. Therefore, I is equal to 24t square. So 24 into integration of t square is t cube divided by 3 minus the next term is minus 2t cube minus 6t. So minus 2 into t power 4 divided by 4 minus 6t. Integration of t is t square by 2 and the last term is plus 12 into 1. So plus 12 into t. This entire thing between the limits 0 to 1. We have done the integration. Now we will apply the limits. Lower limit is 0 for all of them. So it is just the application of the upper limit. So we will get 24 by 3 into 1 minus 2 by 4 minus 6 by 2 plus 12. 20 is 1, each of these terms are 1. Lower limit 20 is 0, all the terms goes to 0. So I've just applied upper limit. So 24 by 3 minus 2 by 4 minus 6 by 2 plus 12. Using a calculator, we can simplify this and write down the fractional answer as 33 divided by 2. This is along the given path. So along the parabola, x is equal to 2t and y is equal to t square plus 3. So this was the case 1 for us. Now we will do case 2. Case 2 is along the straight line from the points are given for us 0, 3 to 2, 4. So along the straight line from 0, 3 to 2, 4, we have to solve. So very firstly, we'll know equation of the straight line joining these 2 points. So equation of the line joining 0, 3 to 2, 4 is given by the formula for equation of the line joining 2 points x1, y1 to x2, y2 is given by y minus y1 divided by x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Right? This is a formula which we are all familiar with. So the formula that we have used is, I'll just write on here. Equation of the 2 lines joining is y minus y1 divided by x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So using this formula, we have got this. So let us simplify this and write down. So we have y minus 3 divided by x is equal to 1 by 2. We have y minus 3 divided by x. Y minus 3 divided by x is equal to 1 by 2, or cross multiplying we can write down 2y minus 3 2s are 6 is equal to x. So we have an expression for x now. So x is equal to 2y minus 6. So we can write down what is dx from this. So dx will be 2 into dy. And since we are representing x in terms of y, obviously we can do the other way. We can take out what is y from this. So y will be x plus 6 divided by 2, which comes to be a fraction. So just to avoid fraction, I am writing x in terms of y. I'm trying to write x in terms of y. We can write the other way also, can represent y in terms of x and solve as well. So when x is represented in terms of y, dx also will be represented in terms of dy. So we need to now write down limits for y. So y varies from 3 to 4. So how is it from 3 to 4? Just look at the question. The question says 0, 3 to 2, 4. X, y. When I compare, y is varying from 3 to 4. If you want to represent y is equal to x plus 6 divided by 2, then you have to write down limits for x. X varies from 0 to 2 in that case. Now I am trying to represent x is equal to 2y minus 6. So I would like to write down limits for y. So y varies from 3 to 4. Now we will substitute all these into the previous expression. That is, we have given I now. We will substitute into that given I. If need by, we can call this as equation 1. So in equation 1, when I substitute, so wherever x is there, we will substitute x as 2y minus 6, retaining y term as it is. And we are writing down integral limits as y varying from 3 to 4. We are substituting x is equal to 2y minus 6. So substituting in equation 1, we get I is equal to integral limits for y varies from 3 to 4, and we can now represent wherever x is there, substitute 2y minus 6, and we can substitute into equation 1. We get 2y plus 2y minus 6 the whole square into dx. Dx is 2 dy plus 3 times of x. X is 2y minus 6 in minus y as it is into dy as it is. So x square we had, that is why 2y minus 6 the whole square it is here. And here it is 3x minus y into dy. So that is the reason 3 into x. X is 2y minus 6 minus y as it is into dy. So let us simplify this further and do integration by grouping all the like terms together. So like previous problem. So I is equal to integral 3 to 4. Let us group all the y terms. So I have first 2y plus a minus b whole square. So 4y square plus 36 minus 24y, the whole thing into 2 dy. In the second term, I'll just multiply 3 inside and write down. So it is 6y minus 6 3s are 18 minus y, the whole thing into dy. You can further simplify this. I can now group the like terms. I have minus 24y plus 2y. Minus 24y plus 2y, I can group it together, which will be minus 22y so we get I is equal to integral 3 to 4. This is obviously the limits for y. So as I mentioned, I have 4y square minus 22y plus 36. Y square minus 22y plus 36. This whole thing is multiplied with 2 dy. In the second term, 4y square minus 22y plus 36, the whole thing into 2 dy. Here 6y minus y is 5y. 5y minus 18. The second term is simple one, 5y minus 18, the whole thing into dy. So we have I is equal to integral 3 to 4. Let us multiply 4 inside, 4 into 2, 8y square minus 44y plus 36 into 2 is 72. Then I have 5y minus 18. Let us group all the like terms and simplify this. So this gives us integral 3 to 4. This is the limits for y we are having. Grouping all the like terms, we have 8y square. And then we have minus 44y plus 5y, which gives us minus 39y, 72 minus 18. So 72 minus 18 will give us 54. This we need to integrate with respect to y and apply the limits. So 8 into y cube divided by 3 minus 39 into y square divided by 2 plus 54 into y. Between the limits 3 to 4. Upper limit minus lower limit, both has to be applied here. None of them are going to 0. So I have 8 by 3 into upper limit throughout I will apply 4 cube. So this gives us 64 minus 39 by 2 as it is. 4 square is 16 plus 54 into 4. This is application of upper limit minus lower limit. So 8 by 3 into 3 cube. 3 cube is 27 minus 39 by 2 into 3 square is 9 plus 54 into 3. can use a calculator, and this simplifies to I is equal to, the first term is 512 divided by 3, second term is 312, similarly 216, and then we have this 54 into 4 is 216, and then we have minus 72, and the next term will be on simplification 351 divided by 2 minus 162. Please use a calculator to simplify this. So this entire constant is a real term, which gives us the answer as fractional 1 I will leave 97 divided by 6. This is along the path, along the straight line, we can say along the straight line from 0, 3 to 2, 4. Along the straight line from 0, 3 to 2, 4. The answer is, evaluation of the given integral is 97 divided by 6. So these are the basic problems on line integral category. Hope you have followed these problems. Thank you for watching.